You're taking too much caffeine for exercise. It's time for some new research. And if you take the most popular stimulant in the world, you should stay tuned because you might find this one a little shocking. In this video, we'll discuss a recent study that examines the ubiquitous, energizing compound known as caffeine. Do you genuinely need a lot of caffeine to see results in your training? That's the exact question for this video. The answer, however, may be found in a recent meta-analysis published in 2022 by Jay Gergich, a research PhD who has conducted numerous investigations on this subject of caffeine versus exercise performance. This new research included 12 studies that looked at how coffee affected three different things: mean velocity, muscular strength, and muscular endurance. 206 participants in all, 88 female and 118 male, were pooled. The levels of caffeine are one aspect of this investigation that's different from earlier analyses. The majority of previous studies focused on the ergogenic benefits of caffeine at doses between 4 and 6 milligrams per kilogram of body weight, or around 4 to 6 cups of coffee. However, the trials in this review used caffeine interventions ranging from 1 to 2 milligrams, or roughly 1 to 2 cups of coffee, usually 60 minutes before exercise. Far less than before. So, what then did the analysis reveal? There was a noticeable ergogenic performance-improving effect on muscle strength. This was not true for all muscle groups. Only the lower body muscles, specifically the quadriceps, experienced an impact comparable to high coffee ingestion levels. Lower intakes did not appear to be as effective for the upper body. Caffeine's relationship to enhancing motor unit recruitment, or the capacity of your brain and muscles to communicate and contract your muscle fibers, may mechanically explain this discrepancy. Then, larger muscles like the quads will profit from this increase, while possibly not minor muscles. Lower caffeine doses certainly appear to have an impact on muscular endurance, but the evidence is conflicting as to whether they have effects that are comparable to those of higher doses. It does appear that higher dosages of caffeine have a bigger impact, although one study that specifically evaluated 2, 4, and 6 milligrams of caffeine discovered similar benefits with all three doses. In the end, the lower 1 to 2 milligram dosages consistently showed at least some endurance improvements. Finally, it was evident that modest dosages do improve mean velocity in a manner comparable to greater doses, but regrettably there were only 2 forms of research looking into that result, not much. Here, more information is ideal. The primary conclusion from this analysis, however, is that it appears that relatively small doses of caffeine, or around 1 to 2 cups of coffee, can have an impact. And the best part is that by using these lesser doses, you may largely avoid the negative consequences of high caffeine use, such as headaches, elevated anxiety, and heart palpitations. But what about caffeine tolerance? That's probably one of the main queries you guys have right now, which is a perfectly reasonable question. The overall findings on this are unclear, unfortunately, because 5 of the 12 trials did not report regular caffeine consumption. There were differing results amongst those who did disclose habitual intake. Although it might seem that only people who usually consume very little caffeine would benefit, improvements have occasionally been observed in subjects who frequently consume caffeine doses above that of their trials. However, the data is still not clear, particularly for people who regularly consume a very high amount of caffeine. Although I believe it's fair to state that the findings presented here probably don't apply to such individuals, additional study is necessary before we can draw any firm conclusions. But if you're not one of those people who drinks a ton of coffee every day, it might be all right for you to cut back on the number of mega scoops you take of pre-workout. Aim for the middle to upper end of this analysis, or roughly 1.5 to 2 cups of your preferred frothy beverage an hour prior to going out. Going for a little bit more makes sense if you don't think that's enough. Just be cautious of any unintentional jitters and unfavorable boosts in productivity. And with that, I hope you all found this article helpful, or at the very least enlightening. Please share your experiences with caffeine in the comments section. In addition, if you like this video, please share it with your caffeine-loving friends and give it an ergogenic thumbs up. Check back for more. As always, I appreciate your time and interest, and remember to eat some protein.